The new Triumph Street Triple 765R costs just over €10,000. But there is a crisp naked bike with complete equipment. The distance to the €2,100 more expensive RS has become much narrower. What the Street Triple 765R can do and where the differences to the predecessor and the RS lie, you will learn in this review. Beautiful and spicy first impressions count. And that's good with the new Street Triple 765R. It's beautiful as it stands there in the sun at our Triumph dealer Q-Bike in Hamburg. The new Streety is not just a small update, but a bike revised in many places. Compared to the old R, the following things have been adjusted: bodywork, especially sharper styled front engine, almost all components have been revised, more power, 120 horsepower, and better torque curve in the middle, gearbox revised, shorter gear ratios, better acceleration, wider handlebar, new exhaust system, new cornering ABS, lighter rims, now with lean angle sensors. The seat height is now 826mm, making the R easy to climb even for smaller pilots. The machine looks rather small and people over 1.90m could get problems with the knee angle. The handlebar is mounted quite low and this automatically results in an active riding position. As is so often the case with naked bikes, pillion comfort is rather modest. There is little space, no grab bars, and people with long legs quickly have their knees between their ears. For free, with this bike you probably don't want to take long trips, at least not as a couple. It screams more for a racetrack, but more on that later.
Drei, 2, 1, 0. Holla, 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 holla.
3, 2, 1. Ab geht das Foxlein. Und 100. Guck nicht so böse.
Technically, the new machine is up to date. There is now an IMU with lean angle sensors, intervenes in cornering ABS and traction control, and 4 riding modes, one of which is a configurable rider mode. A quickshifter is included as standard as well as a combined LCD/TFT cockpit, which we already know from the Trident or Tiger 660. The operation is via a D-pad with enter key and works perfectly. A separate button is available for changing the driving modes. A cruise control is missing, but you do not miss it with this pointed vehicle. The lighting comes in full LED. The new Streety also has the typical insectoid double headlights at the front. A USB port is located under the seat and the machine can be paired to the mobile phone for an extra charge. Then a turn-by-turn navigation powered by Google is available. Is anything missing? Nope, it's all there. So let's get started. This is how it drives itself before we let it crash. The sound check is due. The new Street Triple also hisses as ever. The stationary noise is 95 dB/A. The Triple sounds wonderful, especially if you let it fade away slowly from high revs by engine brake. Already from the first few meters it becomes clear that the Street Triple has retained its core competence. It is extremely precise and maneuverable like hardly any other machine. The short wheelbase and chassis geometry support this, as well as the low weight of only 189 kilograms, ready to drive. If you ride this bike for the first time or change from a large travel enduro, for example, you may find the riding behavior a bit wobbly/nervous, but that's the way it should be. After a short acclimatization, you can enjoy the tight, sporty chassis and trust the machine from A to Z. At least as impressive as the cornering with the machine are their braking performance. The Brembo M4.32 in front bite hard and bring the bike to a stop in no time. Although the Stylemoss of the RS are still slightly lighter in hand power, the R also brakes excellently. It reacts so smoothly to the commands of its pilot that you can hardly believe the displacement of 765 cubic centimeters. In the past, the differences between EG 600 and 1000 machines were clearly noticeable, but between the Street Triple and the Speed Triple the gap has shrunk significantly with the new Streety. Sure, the Speed Triple has noticeably more booms at the bottom, but here too we don't miss anything with the Street Triple 765R, especially not on the country road. The engine goes greedily to the gas and is audibly and noticeably happy about high speeds. But it is also surprisingly elastic and does not muck a bit even when pulling up in 6th gear from low revs. The acceleration from 0 to 100 km/h succeeds with a little practice in less than 3.5 seconds, and also the pull from 60 to 100 km/h in 5th gear lets the driver cheer loudly into the helmet. The machine jumps forward in such a way that you don't want to get off because of all the fun. However, this has one disadvantage: you actually drive too fast all the time without noticing it. At least that's how we felt during our test drive. A large part of this is also the fluffy quickshifter, which works in both directions almost without noticeable jerking. Terrific. We also praise the 4-year warranty that Triumph now offers on all motorcycles. The service interval every 10,000 kilometers or once a year is normal and is also fine. Well, and where are the criticisms of the Street Triple 765R? The clutch lever is not adjustable in range and stands a bit too far for small hands. That's it. The question arises as to why you should actually resort to the more expensive RS variant? Well, we already have an idea. In addition to silver, the RS is also available in red and yellow. In addition, one or the other will appreciate the more valuable levers, the radial brake pump as well as the Stylemoss and the slightly sleeker cockpit. Technically, the two bikes are largely identical and the extra power of 10 horsepower should only be felt at the race. The same applies to the better chassis. On the country road you do not need this update in our opinion. Whether you choose the R or the RS, you will have a lot of fun with both bikes and they are both worth their price every single penny.